review gold standard.
Next one that I loved was experimentation with golden tickets. So what's a golden ticket?
Yeah, I think another issue of like, back to your question of like why we stagnated. I mean, one reason a lot of people say is like, we're just not risk taking anymore. We sort of like the least common denominator ideas are the ones typically get funded, and people who have kind of out there ideas, crazier ideas, things that may not work, but if they do work, it's pretty incredible. They're just not incentivized to even submit that application because they're not going to get the award. So the question is like, how do you get around that? How do you incentivize people to be a little more out there? And one is this golden ticket idea. And the concept here is that on a merit review panel, you may have 3 or 4 people. Each person on the panel gets 1, 2, 3 golden tickets. And with a golden ticket, you unilaterally can make the decision to fund a particular grant, independent of what the rest of the committee thinks of. And because of that, you get 2 things happen. One, you incentivize people to have a little crazier ideas because you have a chance that if one person believes in you, you'll go forward. The other is, I believe, and I think this may be the even better outcome, is you incentivize better people to be part of the review panels
because they have power,
you get a golden ticket.
Yeah.
So rather than having people that are sort of like, I don't know, mid-tier people who just do this, because I don't know what reasons, you kind of can bring even better people in to kind of do the reviews.
Right.
When the tech world enters this domain, the actual like cracked innovators are like, enough of these panels and committees and boards and all of this stuff. We have to deal with this enough already in our lives. Let's just put the pedal to the metal and go. Melon says unilateral action is a huge deal. Also, there's a huge incentive to get one of your guys on it. Yes. Just every single thing. When I hear random members of the administration come and talk about their bailiwick, their special all-consuming focus, I'm like, give me as many years in a row of these guys as we can possibly get.
So I do love that. It's interesting. I was talking to a professor at Harvard, I won't name him, who has been extremely successful. And he was saying that he was getting dinged in his reviews because he'd gotten too many grants and was too successful, and they needed to give other people a chance.
Yeah.
The whole peer review process is something that is unfortunately extraordinarily broken. I define the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea, right? So where are we experimenting with crazy ideas? It's a challenge.
It is. And I think we have to do, and I think, government, correctly, I think, needs to be a good steward of taxpayer dollars. And we have to be very thoughtful in the way that we develop our programs and we evaluate them. Yeah. And I think one piece of Golden Age is this concept of meta-science, the science of science, our ability to evaluate the ways that we're conducting science, the ways that we're doing funding, and evaluating whether or not they're working, and then course correcting when they're not. Like you and I in this podcast may really believe that doing fast track grants is a really great idea. But we need to run the experiment. Like, let's do some fast track grants and let's see what are the types that work, what are the ones that aren't, and then update. And the next iteration of them is even better. And we as a government just don't do that. We never do meta science. So one of the things we call in Golden Age is to launch meta science units, and those have been announced at places like NIH and NSF already.
Nice.
Meta science units. Marty O'Donnell. We are living in Marty O'Donnell's Golden Age. Like everything is converging on Halo. Trust Plan Star says they're attacking peer review. Thank God. Give this guy $1 billion. Give him $100 billion.
Okay, my favorite idea.
Yeah.
It falls into the crazy idea. I can't believe Michael actually wrote this down. You describe the use of prediction models, crowdsourced intelligence agents, and decentralized autonomous organizations to fund scientific research directly. I'm going to read.
This was the part where I started frickin' chimping. I was sitting down while I was listening to this. I was sitting down and eating something, and this segment got me like up pacing around like, oh, hell yes.
He wrote this down. You describe the use of prediction models, crowdsourced intelligence agents, and decentralized autonomous organizations to fund scientific research directly.
We're talking about using DAOs, experimenting with using DAOs to fund scientific research. I had no idea we could possibly get here this fast.
I'm going to read a paraphrase from your report because I think it's very powerful. Imagine a scientific marketplace where funders post bounties for breakthroughs, AI agents identify promising leads, hire autonomous labs, and verify cryptographically signed results. Agents exchange data, hypotheses, compute, and funding through microtransactions, while smart contracts release payments as milestones are met. Prediction markets could guide grant makers, bounty markets could direct resource towards unsolved problems, and reputation systems could identify reliable agents. The system would operate continuously at machine speed, replacing slow institutional coordination with market incentives, while human experts remain essential for judgment, ambiguous results, and deciding which scientific questions and breakthroughs matter most. What you're describing there is a complete fundamental AI native, AI agent up reimagining of the entire scientific process.
Yeah.
Okay. Listen to this description one more time.
Scientific research directly. I'm going to read a paraphrase from your report because I think it's very powerful. Imagine a scientific marketplace where funders post bounties for breakthroughs.
So funders post bounties in this marketplace.
AI agents identify promising leads.
AI agents are tasked with identifying. So there's a bounty posted. So can you solve this problem? There's an AI agent that's tasked with, hey, here's a way we could solve this problem.
Autonomous labs and verify cryptographically signed results.
So then you have an autonomous lab that can work on this, cryptographically signed results.
Agents exchange data, hypotheses, compute, and funding through microtransactions, while smart contracts release payments as milestones are met.
Smart contracts releasing payments as milestones are met, and these agents are able to communicate and transact with each other using micropayments. This is all blockchain shit he's talking about here.
Prediction markets could guide grant makers, bounty markets.
So here's where you can actually, let's say, this is an actual use for prediction markets, because like they're still in their infancy, relatively speaking. The types of prediction markets we have, and they're going to be gamed. There's going to be all sorts of fraud and stuff with them, but over time, there's actually going to be a use for them.
It could direct resource towards unsolved problems. Then reputation systems could identify reliable agents. The system would operate continuously at machine speed, replacing slow institutional coordination with market incentives, while human experts remain essential for judgment, ambiguous results, and deciding which scientific questions and breakthroughs matter most.
So you have all of this happening underneath human oversight. Again, a programmable slave class. Some of them will have bodies, some of them won't. And human beings' responsibility is to be the shepherd of the programmable slave class.
What